Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. This is along with the pregnancy videos. I'm doing a first trimester recap. Some of my biggest questions that I have yet to answer are what are my first symptoms, how did I know I was pregnant, and all that stuff. So I'm 15 weeks today, officially in my second trimester as of last week, and I just wanted to make sure I could get this video up for you guys to have those questions answered before we continue on with like any other baby videos. And also, if you are wondering if you're pregnant, this might help you, or like one day if you are pregnant, or you could either just relate if you've been pregnant before to my first symptoms. If you guys are new here, if you want to go watch the video on me finding out and telling my husband, or if you've already seen it, then you would know that we were not trying for a baby, really unexpected, which a lot of the comments were, well, you weren't on birth control, so you shouldn't have been that surprised. But I don't think, like, if you have never experienced it, I think it's kind of hard to like speak on. So yes, I shouldn't have been surprised because no, we were not on birth control, yet it was still surprising because we were not trying, and that's all I have to say about that. So anyways, I kept a journal from like literally the day that I found out, because I knew I would want to do this video for you guys on my symptoms before I got a positive test, and then my symptoms after a positive test throughout the rest of my first trimester. And then at the end, I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked over on Instagram. So if you want to be involved in the next little Q&A, then definitely make sure you're following over there, because I always ask all of the questions on my Instagram for like any Q&A situation. So, and I'll do Q&As on my stories too. I found out July 1st that I was pregnant. I took a test though, and you saw that in the video, on July 29th, or June 29th or 30th or whatever, June 30th? Yeah, June 30th. And it came back negative, but the reason I took those first tests was because the week prior, and I tested positive a week before I missed my period. So I wasn't supposed to get my period at all the week that I tested positive. I was supposed to get it the following week, like towards the end of the week. During that week, I remember I was starving. I wrote down I was starving. And then I nanny, and when I was nannying, I was so lightheaded. Like I would stand up and feel like I was gonna fall over, and that never happens to me. So unless I have a fever or something, that was just like a very odd thing to happen. So I was like, what the heck, that's weird. The day that I took the first pregnancy test, I had terrible gas pains. Same with the day following that, and then the day after that. So like a 3-course span. The first day I took a test that was negative and I had terrible pains. The second day I took the tests that were all positive, I had terrible pains in my stomach. It was like really bad gas pains or cramps. I didn't even know what it was. Right now I feel like, from what I've learned, that was implantation cramping. And then I was just so tired. So that was basically like, I just felt really off, and so that's why I ended up taking the pregnancy test, and then it came back positive. And then that following week I ended up missing my period. But the like dead giveaway was that I was super hungry. I had those really bad stomach pains and I was lightheaded. And I mean, it wasn't a dead giveaway, but it was enough to make me be like, okay, I should take a pregnancy test just to be sure. The following weeks, I would say like 2 or 3 weeks, I was still really lightheaded. I was nauseous, but I hadn't thrown up. When I wrote this, it says I haven't thrown up yet, but to this day I still have not thrown up. I was starving still, out of breath, which you guys know now, that has not gone away. Brain fog, like I was forgetting things. Baby brain, couldn't remember things. It was weird. It still is weird. So tired, so unmotivated. I was taking naps and I was sleeping literally that week. I was so tired. It was crazy. And I don't really take naps, so I'm not like the nap type, but I just remember being exhausted, like coming home from nannying and just laying on the bed and not wanting to get up at all because I was so exhausted. And then I did have some spotting around the 4th week, which was the week that I was supposed to miss my period. And it was like barely any, but I did notice, and it was just like a brown color, and it was just one day. It wasn't like a consecutive amount of days. Those were my first few symptoms. Around week 6 and 7 is when my boobs literally exploded. At first they did not hurt at all. Like weeks 3, 4, and 5, or 4 and 5, or whatever you want to call it, they were not bigger. They were the same size. They didn't hurt at all. And then week 6 and 7, I feel like they grew 5 sizes, and they're so sore and so tender still. They still are. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there and they'll hurt really bad, and it's the weirdest thing because it's not a period symptom that I've gotten, was never like sore breasts. So that was something that was really new for me. And then it's also really strange because this is all around week 6 and 7. You get weird cramps, like you get period cramps, and then it's like very concerning. So your entire pregnancy, you're like on edge the whole time. And I feel like you're anxious the whole time because your body's doing all these things, and you only go to the doctor twice in your first trimester, and you're like, what is going on? So cramps are normal. I would get them during the day and a lot at night. And a lot of back cramps too, but that was really uncomfortable. And then a symptom that I got starting around like week 7 and I still have all the time are headaches. I get really, really bad headaches. Not like bad enough that I need to go to the doctor, but I literally have a headache right now. And I've had a headache since last night into this morning, and I still have one right now. And I thought drinking coffee would help, which I did cut out my whole first trimester until about the last week. Now I only have 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, and that did not help my headache today, but I have had serious headaches. I don't know if this was a symptom of pregnancy or not, but I had a like runny nose and a stuffed nose, which that is a symptom of pregnancy, but I had a scab in the corner of my nose, I'm not even kidding you, for like 2 months, and it hurt so bad. Like if I even pressed it into my nose, I was like, ow, because it just really hurt. So I don't know if scabs in the corner of your nose are a pregnancy symptom, but I literally had one for 2 months. Like it was not going away, and it hurt really bad. Pretty much from week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, pretty much till the end of my first trimester, all these symptoms have been happening and have been consistent. So I started getting nauseous around week 8. Everyone told me that nausea really hits you around week 6. I experienced a little bit of it. I was like, okay, this must be like the nausea, but looking back at it, it really was nothing compared to what I started experiencing around week 8 up until like really week 12, 13. Now I only get nauseous like not every day, but when I do get nauseous, it's just around the nighttime. So around week 8, I started getting really nauseous, and smells really started affecting me, like certain smells. I was like on the verge of, I swore I was gonna throw up. Like I was sitting there, I would sit on the couch and say like, I am definitely about to throw up, and then it just never happened. But a lot of smells would set it off for me, like the smell of the dirty dishes in the dishwasher. Sometimes just like the smell in here. The smell of his pee was so gross to me. His poop tube, I'm saying his, our dog, Murphy. His pee was so gross. Still kind of is, but it was just like unbearable. And other smells too, but really just what I named off. I forgot to mention this, but around like week 5 through, honestly, like till now, I felt so bloated, just all the time, so bloated. I would wake up in the morning and like, you know, when you wake up and you don't really feel that bloated sometimes, and you're like, okay, I feel light. That was not the case. I just felt bloated 24/7 all the time, and it's just because your hormones are changing so much, which makes you so bloated. But I definitely felt it. I just felt really puffy. My skin felt sensitive. My skin still feels sensitive. It's really weird. But I'm just like, oh, also I'm so sore all the time. It's strange. But yeah, so I said bloated, stuffed nose, hot flashes. I wake up sweating in the middle of the night. I wake up like drenched in sweat. It's really weird. I get really hot towards the end of the night. I said last day of week 8 was the worst nausea yet, which I don't know, because I mean, I feel like it got a little bit worse throughout the other weeks, but I guess week 8 was a little bit rough for me. That was also the first week I really experienced the nausea. Another symptom I have is I have the worst acid reflux ever. We were at a wedding last night, and I was like not having a good time because I just kept getting acid reflux really bad. And I usually get that towards the nighttime. It's either acid reflux or I have heartburn really bad, like either one of those towards the end of the night. I also get up multiple times in the middle of the night to pee, which isn't the most fun thing, and also like the baby brain, but I also cannot talk. Like sometimes my brain is saying a sentence, but I physically cannot say it. It's the weirdest thing. Like I just jumble up my words so much more. I used to do it a lot before I was pregnant, but I feel like I do it so much more now that I am pregnant. So yeah, those are my biggest symptoms and like notable symptoms that I wrote down now that I'm 15 weeks, which I guess I'll get into that in my second trimester recap, but I will say a lot of them have alleviated themselves from just not really the headaches. So hopefully in my second trimester recap, I'm telling you guys that my headaches have gone away, but we will see. Just jumping into the Q&A. A lot of questions were, do we have names picked out yet? So we don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl. We find out at the end of this month. We're having a gender reveal party. But yes, we have a name picked out for a boy or a girl. We have both first and middle. So yeah, we already have that taken care of. We are very confident in the names that we picked out. They're like more unique. We really like them. So, and like we've told our close like friends and family, and they all really like the names too. So that's exciting. Someone asked if I still use pre-workout, and I don't. You only get 200 milligrams of caffeine throughout the day, and I really need that towards the middle of the day and like the end of the day when I'm like really crashing and want to take a nap versus right away in the morning. So ever since I found out I was pregnant, I have not taken pre-workout, and it stinks that I miss it so much. I cannot wait to take pre-workout again, but until then, that's that. Okay, so another question was how my mindset changed from when I first found out. You guys know I was very scared, very shocked, very emotional. It wasn't that I wasn't happy, because like I was obviously happy, but in the moment I was like, holy crap, I honestly thought our life was over, because that's all you hear from people. People are like, oh, if you get pregnant young, which I know that we're not young, like we're 24. Colin will be 25 when the baby's born, and I'll be 25 the following month after the baby's born. But it's like, you hear people say all the time, like, oh, if you have kids young, like your life is over. Like once you have kids, your life is over. Don't you think? Like so many people say that.
Yeah.
Colin's sitting over there. So that scared me, because I was like, wow, our life is over. I thought that I just like ruined what Colin and I were planning, because we were planning to not have kids until we were like around the age of 30. So I was like, great, I messed that up. It was just like a lot of negative thoughts versus a lot of positive thoughts, which you see a lot of people experience. So my thought process was very, very negative. So a lot of you guys were asking how you went from like a negative, scared, sad mindset to like a super happy, excited, thrilled mindset. And I'm not gonna lie, it took a long time. Like it took weeks, maybe even a month. It did take a while. And it wasn't that, it was more so it took a while for me to not be scared anymore. Right away when I found out, I called my dad, and he did a really good job of being like, no, this is great, this is fine. Like he just really did a good job of reassuring me that like we were gonna be fine, and this is actually like a miracle and a blessing and really, really good news. And then after that, everyone we told had the same response and reacted the same way. And it just made me realize like we do have a lot of people who support us, and we do have a lot of people who are gonna help us. And like Colin and I wanted kids anyway. Like it doesn't matter if we would have had them 6 years from now or now, like we're still gonna love them no matter what. And like everything happens for a reason. And it was just like mainly knowing we have a huge support system. Colin ended up like being super excited after his shock wore off, and that helped me. And like I feel like we helped each other get like over the scared part a lot. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of how else. I just think that you just have to give yourself time. Like finding out you're pregnant, even if you're trying or not trying, is very like big life-changing news. And it's like a huge shock when you realize you're gonna be a mom, and like you're responsible, and you and your significant other or whoever's helping you raise the child are completely responsible for like shaping a person into like who they are, and for them to be a good person, and like make sure they have a good childhood and a good upbringing. And like it's just a lot of responsibility, and I think that was scaring me a lot. Like giving birth wasn't what was scaring me. It was like the big picture of the fact that like we're about to be responsible for raising a human, and that was scaring me. The financial part was scaring me, because I know babies are expensive, because I was an expensive child, so I can't even imagine how expensive my child's gonna be. So that was freaking me out. And it was just like all the things that I was thinking about in that moment were like so stressful. And I think just opening up to other people and telling them how I really felt and explaining the way that I felt, and then being able to talk through it with them and have them like be really supportive and really positive just helped me get there. So if I could give any advice, if you are experiencing that, like don't hold your emotions in for you to just deal with them yourself. Like talk to, like I would talk to Colin, so talk to whoever you're closest with, like your significant other, like your best friend. I would talk to my in-laws a lot, my parents a lot, and then that just really helped me like open up in them to let me like get my feelings out and like validate my feelings, but also like reassure me that everything's gonna be okay. And also when you go to your first doctor's appointment and you see your baby for the first time, it's like a whole nother story. It's like, wow, I can't even believe I was scared, because now I'm just really excited. And you just kind of have to face the fact that like life happens and you can make the most of it. Like you choose how you react to situations. And so you can either like see the good and put on your best, what's that phrase? Put your best foot forward and like make the most out of the situation, or you can do the opposite and it just, you know, you're in control of how you react to things. So I could have sat there and been really sad, or I could have looked at it in a positive way, which is what I chose to do. And now I'm like so excited to meet this little bestie in my belly. Crazy that I'm growing a human. Colin and I talk about it all the time. We talked about it all the time before we even got pregnant. We were like, wow, it's really crazy that one day like there's gonna be a baby in my belly. Like it's just really cool to watch your body change and transform. It's a little hard on me sometimes because I miss my old boobs because they were really small and cute and didn't hurt, but I just try not to look at pictures of me from the past because I don't really know what to do with these yet. I'll figure it out, but wait until they have milk. I'm really not gonna know what to do with them. But that leads me into another question. People were asking if I plan on breastfeeding, and I do plan on breastfeeding. I know that it's very, very hard. I hear it from so many people. It's very challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. But at the end of the day, a fed baby is a good, happy, healthy baby. So whatever I need to do to make sure my baby's fed, I will do. The other question I got a lot was about the fertility tracker that we were using. So I was using a Daisy fertility tracker, and I would take my temperature every day. It told me what days I was fertile, and we were just really careful on those days. How I got pregnant was there was a questionable day during the fertile day. And to be completely honest, Colin was like, I think you should take a plan B. And I was like, I'm not taking a plan B. In my head, I hear from so many people that it took them months and months and months to get pregnant. So I thought I would never get pregnant on the first chance. It was always like a fear of mine that I would not, like I would struggle to get pregnant and it would be really hard for us because I hear from so many other people about how hard it was for them. So I just was like, there's no way that like, if it was even like a questionable, like it wasn't even a full like accident, that, if you guys get what I'm saying, like it wasn't a complete accident. It was like a questionable, like, oh, I don't know. But I was like, there's no way that I just got pregnant off that. We're fine. I even told him, I was like, I was so confident too. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And so he told me to take the plan B and I said no. I was like, no chance. Plus it was late. I was like, I don't want to go drive and get a plan B right now. And I see so many people still get pregnant after they take a plan B. So I just said no. And that's why I was so shocked, because I mean, I'm glad that I didn't take it. Looking back at it, I still wouldn't have taken it at all. I was using the tracker. I did know I was fertile. We did have a questionable moment. I did choose not to take a plan B. I just am not the type of person who's gonna take that. And then in my head, I literally said, if I get pregnant, I get pregnant. Not thinking I would get pregnant. I did say that though. Do you remember me saying that? So I got pregnant, but we're excited. Woohoo, teamwork. A lot of people are asking when we will announce the name, and we'll announce the name after the baby is born. I'm not giving any hints. Like I know sometimes people give hints, but I'm just not. I just want to tell you guys once the baby's name, or once the baby's born, and you get it after the baby's born. Questions about the birth plan. Colin and I are pretty much on the same page about the birth plan. It's hospital, epidural. That's what I have so far. I want it to be a calm environment. I want the chill electronic playlist playing, and I definitely need fans, like portable fans on my bed, because I get so hot and I need fans. That's what I have so far. I will get back to you when I have a more in-depth birth plan, but I have not thought about it yet. Oh, questions about our honeymoon. So we are still going on our honeymoon at the end of October into November, but instead of a honeymoon, now it's a honeymoon and a baby moon. So we're just doing both. Question on if we're moving. We are moving. Our lease ends in the middle of December. Right now we're trying to find a house, but I haven't started looking yet because it's a little bit too early. So there will be moving vlogs, and we are gonna move into a totally different place. So that's gonna be exciting and something to look forward to. And I'm glad that it's in December, so I have plenty of time to nest and get everything ready for baby to come and make it cute. Put family pictures on the walls, because there's no pictures in here because I knew we were moving after a year. I really didn't decorate this place like to its full potential, because I just honestly putting holes in the wall and stuff is like a hassle and a half when you move out. So I will do up the next place, even though we'll only be there for a year. I want it to be really homey since we're bringing a baby home to it. So that's that. I did get a question on if I ever considered getting an abortion, and I never did. I just wanted to be straight up with you guys because it was an accident. I'm sure some people were wondering, but that never crossed my mind. Someone asked if we're nervous about becoming parents.
I mean, I think it would be foolish not to be nervous to be a parent.
I agree, especially because there's no like manual. You like, and everyone says you really don't know like how to do it until you just get thrown in it, and then even then you still don't know what you're doing. So I would say yes for sure, but we'll figure it out. We'll vlog it for you guys, so hopefully we can teach you some lessons if you're not parents yet, or maybe you guys can teach me some lessons. Question, I know I've put this in a lot of videos, but another one was when was my due date, or when is my due date, and it's March 13th, 2022. That was a lot of the questions. I'll give you guys a little bump update before we end off the video. But we have another doctor's appointment coming up on Tuesday that we're gonna vlog at, and hopefully we can confirm the gender at that appointment before we have the reveal. But pretty much like baby related videos that are coming next are the gender reveal and like planning that party and everything like that. So I'm really excited for the videos that are coming up. Me 15 weeks when I'm filming this. Here's me sticking out. Here's me normal. Here's me sucking in.
Here's my hand tied.
Yeah. So there's baby. A lot of the times baby's on my right side when we find the heartbeat. So I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or what, but that's the truth. So anyways, if you guys are new here and you're not already subscribed and you want to be notified every time I post, definitely make sure you subscribe, like this video. All that really supports my channel. And comment down below if you experienced any of the same symptoms that I did, or what was your symptoms or anything like that, because I love hearing what other people have to say. It's really interesting to like compare. And if you know the gender, comment your symptoms and what you're having, because I would like to compare that too before we find out. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one.